my dear Boris. What a wonderful evening. It is indeed a frightful evening. Another vampiric evening, if I'm not guessing wrong, eh? Indeed, a very wonderful vampiric time of year. In fact, oh, excuse me there, Boris. Hold on one second. What? Got you, you old fly, you. Of course, you got to have a nice flapper like this one to catch these gigantic ones. Oh, it reminds me of an old fiend of ours, an old fly eater, Mr. Renfield. He would have loved to have had this juicy plumper. You would save this for later, eh, Boris? In fact, I was just perusing my copy of Romancing the Vampire, and it's a great little scrapbook. I've shown it a few times before, but it has all sorts of old, ancient ideas about the vampire, and especially about the very first vampire, Nosferatu. Ah, indeed. And he was situated in Transylvania as well. If you notice, most of the really, truly older vampires are from Transylvania, eh, Boris? And in fact, there's a map here in the book of Transylvania. And this is the area of which Nosferatu was, well, situated. Well, my dear fiends, I know that you've heard of Dracula. And of course, we've heard of Nosferatu before, you know, in the 1922 version of F.W. Murnau's classic. Of course, the reason he called it Nosferatu was because that was the name that the Germans gave vampires or living dead, but it was also because Bram Stoker's widow would not let him publish it under the name Dracula. Well, tonight, my dear fiends, Werner Herzog, director and writer of tonight's feature, came through for us back in 1979 and combined what Murnau really wanted to do. And that was combine Dracula and Nosferatu together, being the first vampires, the first famous vampires in films. Eh, Boris? And do we have treats along the way for you, my dear fiends? Indeed we do. So, my dear ones, let me turn right around. Excuse me, Boris. And I'll tune it into the old haunted keyboard. Nosferatu, Symphony for a Vampire, or Dracula, the first vampire. Excellent, excellent. Oh, and tonight's feature stars Klaus Kinski. Now, you may remember earlier in the year we had on the film with Christopher Lee called Count Dracula, where Kinski played not Dracula, but he played Renfield. So tonight he's playing Nosferatu, Count Dracula himself. So we have that. Now let's tune into the old haunted TV. Indeed, indeed. Now, let's go to the film already through the haunted projector.
I've been watching you.
Lucy, calm down.
I see something horrible. I'm afraid.
You're just having another nightmare.
Jonathan, this eating on the run isn't good for you. It worries me.
Morning.
Ah, Harker, please come here.
Yes, Mr. Renfield?
I have a task for you. Something I don't dare trust to anyone else.
Oh, you're very kind, Mr. Renfield.
Count Dracula sent me a letter from Transylvania. He wants to buy a house here. Of course, it's an enormous trip to see him.
Where is that? Oh, the Carpathian Mountains, isn't it?
Yes. But on the other hand, there will be a large commission.
Oh, then I could get a nicer house for Lucy. She deserves a finer setting.
Yes. Well, this won't be easy. May take you a long time. Cost you a lot of sweat. And possibly also a bit of blood.
It'd be good to get out of the city for a while. Get away from these canals, which go nowhere but back on themselves.
Transylvania. There, beyond the forests. A wonderful place. A little gloomy, but very exciting. The Count is just looking for a beautiful old house. I thought about the big one near your place.
But it's almost in ruins, been abandoned for years.
I'm sure he can make it into something cozy. Anyway, we'll offer it to him. You leave right now.
Right now? Today?
Certainly. I've got all the papers here. We mustn't make him wait.
All right then. If it has to be today, it has to be. I'm ready.
Today? Right away?
Yes, to a castle in the Carpathians. It's a strange area where there are still a few wolves and people believe in ghosts.
Jonathan, I don't want you to go. I have this awful feeling.
That's ridiculous.
You'll be in danger. Don't go.
Wolves, robbers, and ghosts.
You mustn't leave like this. I cannot permit it. Let's at least spend some time first by the sea. We used to enjoy it so much.
Lucy, I don't know. Sometimes I'm so blind.
Jonathan, I have to say this. Even if you think it's foolish, coming from a feeble, unprotected home.
Yes?
I feel it like a force. An inner, nameless, deadly fear.
Lucy is the dearest thing in the world to me. Take care of her.
Of course.
Mina, treat her as a sister.
Yes.
Innkeeper, quick, my supper. I have to go to the castle tonight.
Which one?
Count Dracula's.
Must you go there, really?
Yes. Why?
At midnight, all sorts of evil spirits are set loose. People disappear without a trace.
Oh, come on. That's all superstition.
You will not find a coach which will take you there. And your own horse needs care for several days.
I'll find another horse.
Don't go there, sir. The gypsies. Some of them have been on the other side. They know. He says you shouldn't go there, young man.
Ande peklate džatele, odaj ma nakude su tavri ode tua barna upre a šal kisno odoj, mađa ode černo manusal.
He says on the way's a great chasm. It swallows the unwary. Then come towering crags. He says that the pass, the Borgo pass, where the light suddenly divides, and there, he says, the land rises upwards towards heaven, and then falls to no one knows where.
Dzičina na tu trnu musa, mađa ode tu. A do njebo ste džaha, oda tišta huda tu tele. To ima sa o tom odoj. A ode barok šišitno na dike tvojaka.
The gypsies have been saying that no such castle exists, except maybe in the imagination of man. It's just a ruin, they say, a ghost castle. A traveler who enters into that land of phantoms is lost and can never return.
Proszę sobie zabrać brzuch, proszę, 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 proszę. Piękny. Proszę sobie czytać książkę. Ciekawa, proszę, ciekawa. Ciekawa, nie, proszę. Ciekawa jest książka, proszę czytać.
For me?
Vampires. Let's see. Of vampires and bloodsuckers, of corpses which devour their own flesh, of incubuses and succubuses, of the living dead, who follow strangers in the night, of werewolves, of milking of axes. That's a good one. Milking an axe of its blood makes men's bodies to quake and their teeth to chatter in their heads. Transylvania, Nosferatu, the undead. The curse will last until the end of time. The curse of the vampire Nosferatu. Coachman, could you take me to the Borgo Pass? I'll pay you well.
There is no road to the Borgo Pass.
But it's right there. I need your coach.
I haven't got a coach.
Could I have at least one of your horses? I'm willing to pay you double the price.
Sorry, sir. Can you not see? I haven't any horses.
Well, then I'll have to walk. Count Dracula.
Jonathan Harker, you have been expected and are welcome in my castle.
Thank you.
Come in. The night is cold, and you must be tired and hungry.
These are the papers. The folded document contains the ground plan of the house, which I'm sure you will want to see.
Yes, yes. Please help yourself. Please. I'm afraid you must sup alone. It's nearly midnight, and I partake of nothing at this hour. Unfortunately, the servants are not at our disposal, either, so you allow me to see to your comfort. Listen. The children of the night make their music. Ah, young men, you are like the villagers who cannot place themselves in the soul of a hunter. The knife is old and could be dirty. It could give you blood poisoning. Please, let me do it. It's the oldest remedy in the world.
Oh, Forget it. It's hardly worth mentioning. Just a little cut.
You know, it's only for the best. Let's sit up for a while. It's still many hours before dawn. And during the daytime, I am always away.
Hello, my dear fiends. Are you enjoying tonight's feature? Nosferatu with Klaus Kinski? What a wonderful film it is. In color, lots of dialogue, lots of action. And of course, well, you know, you couldn't have done it without Bram Stoker and, of course, F.W. Murnau, who made the very first Nosferatu with Max Schreck as Graf Orlok. In fact, in my romancing the vampire scrapbook, we have a wonderful section on Max Schreck. And let's see, what do we have here? We have a nice, wonderful old replica of the posters that they used to advertise. I guess these would have been known as their one sheets or half sheet to put up along the posts and the sideboards and things to let people know that it was going to be shown at the Majestic Wednesday, May 30th, probably 1922. Adults was 35 cents. Children was 20 cents. Oh, my evilness. And let's see here. I thought I saw something a moment ago, but I hope I didn't lose it. Let me pick it up again and see. You know, that's the thing about having little loose leaves, leaflets, and things like that in books like this. And nope, I didn't lose anything. It's all there. And let me turn it right around a little bit for you guys so that you can see a little bit of a picture. Well, there's some more stuff. Anyway, some pictures here of Max Schreck in his makeup for Graf Orlok. That was some makeup for 1922. They really knew how to start things off. Oh, excuse me one second. I'm dropping posters of Bela Lugosi's Dracula and everything. What is this? Okay, look, this was another half sheet of, well, in 1931, of course, with Dracula Bela Lugosi, the Dracula that most people are more famously remembered for. Indeed, indeed. What is this? Is this a ticket to a Broadway? I'm not sure what this might have been. It's, well, I have no idea. It's a vampiric mesmerization card, I guess it is. I'll let you figure it out, huh? Maybe it was some artwork that Lugosi did or somebody did. I'm not sure. It doesn't really say, but huh? Things that you learn. Things that you learn. You never stop learning. And of course, we have lots of other things as well throughout the museum, starting with our own figure of the original. That's right, the original Graf Orlok Max Schreck figurine, action figure, whatever you want to call, as Count Dracula or Graf Orlok. Either way, let's go up a little closer. He deserves to be seen a little closer, don't you think? Look at that profile. Indeed, indeed. All right, let's put him back. And well, one more thing before we go back to the film. I mean, you got all sorts of things for vampires nowadays, and one of them being ink pen sets. Well, it looks like, well, a Nosferatu in his coffin, you know, and he's reposing really nicely, but you can raise it up and you can get out what looks like a stake, but it's not. It's actually an ink pen, and you can keep it like this. I'll come up again one more time. Like this on your desk for when you need an ink pen to stake somebody with. Anyway, these are nice, wonderful little artifacts and tidbits that we have throughout the museum. And hopefully we'll be able to see a few more a little bit later. Let's get back to tonight's feature, Nosferatu with Klaus Kinski.
Lucy, my love, there is no postal service from here, but I shall write a diary, preserving all my thoughts and feelings for you. Last night, after a tiresome journey, I finally reached my destination, the castle of Count Dracula. I had a bad dream, but I hope it will pass. This castle is so strange, at times I wonder if it isn't part of that dream. Everything about it looks so unreal.
I don't attach importance to sunshine anymore, or to glittering fountains, which youth is so fond of. I love the darkness and the shadows, where I can be alone with my thoughts. I'm the descendant of an old family. Time is an abyss, profound as 1,000 nights. Centuries come and go. To be unable to grow old is terrible. Death is not the worst. There are things more horrible than death. Can you imagine, enduring centuries, experiencing each day the same futile things? I'm glad you found such a large old house for me, very near to your lodgings, understand?
Yes, it's just around the corner.
May I have a look at the contract? What a lovely throat.
It's my wife, Lucy. Your hand is so cold.
The documents, the contract for the house. I will sign it immediately.
Yes, but we haven't settled the price.
It's a small matter between gentlemen. I accept whatever you find is just.
Here.
How long did it take you to get here from Wismar?
4 weeks.
It takes a while on land.
From the seed of Belial is the vampire born. He who feeds on the blood of mankind, who unredeemed taketh his refuge in caves, tombs, coffins filled with the unblessed soil of cemeteries, wherein the Black Death hath reaped his harvest, the plague.
Easy. She's had a sudden fever. Call me at once if you think it is necessary. But I don't think it is really that serious.
going to Wismar. Lucy. Lucy's in danger. I've got to get out of here.
It's strange, but the papers are all in order.
Let me see, then. From Vanna to Wismar, garden soil for botanical experiments.
Open one of them. I want to make sure.
Yes.
This one.
Mother Superior. Stop the black coffins.
The patient we got yesterday is having a fit.
Which one?
The one who bit the cow. The one in solitary.
Come.
Blood is life. Blood is life.
Has he done this often before?
Yes, a few hours ago. Exactly the same thing. Instead of taking food,
He tries to eat flies.
Blood is like...
Give it to me. Let go!
Wrestling of sails.
No letter again. But Lucy, you mustn't worry. Getting mail over the Carpathians is very difficult.
Something has happened to Jonathan. I know it.
Lucy, take comfort. The Lord will hear our prayers.
God is so far from us in the hour of distress.
Bez kade potunaščice cestines, mađa nikaj, tu ač adaj.
The young gentleman is quite ill. He must not travel yet.
The coffins. I must get to Wismar before the coffins.
The young gentleman should wait at least until the doctor comes tomorrow.
But Lucy is in danger. I have to save her. Coffins. Evil is on the way.
The ship seems burdened with a curse. Since we left the Caspian Sea, one after another, 4 mariners and the second mate have taken ill and gone to their rewards. 1 sailor and our cook have disappeared without a trace. A rumor circulated that there was a stranger on board. It terrified all. We searched, but there was nothing but the rats. We're true to our course, northwest at 30 degrees. Wind is steady, 12 knots this day.
Mr. Renfield, you ordered my husband to Transylvania. For weeks now, I have been without word from him. And I am sorely worried. I'm ready to set out for Transylvania myself.
Stay here. The master comes.
Who is coming? Tell us more.
The master of the rats. The army is hungry and 400,000 strong. Plague! In Transylvania, in the black seaport of Varna, the plague has appeared.
Well, my dear fiends, here we are in another part of Gargoyle Manor, the Monster Museum, and tonight's feature is Nosferatu, and so I thought I'd bring out a couple of things that's related to tonight's feature. One of them being, well, Nosferatu himself, a mask, a wonderful mask, as you can see. A very ferocious-looking version of Count Graf Orlok, or Nosferatu, the first of vampires. And indeed, he was a creature of the night, the master of all the darkness. And he's very well made. We got him from Trick or Treat Studios. They have some very wonderful master sculptors over there, and including Tom Savini, the great master himself of all those wonderful horror films and prosthetics and makeups. Well, my dear fiends, let's see what else we can find here at the museum. We put it right back. You must always put back what you've taken down, and you have always ask, sorry I have my back to you, always ask before you touch anything that's on a shelf in any museum or private collection. Because, well, sometimes the smudges, the oils and things from the your fingers will actually denigrate some of the artifacts that's throughout a museum. So we don't want to do that. So always ask permission. Hey, my dear friends, so let's see what else we have concerning Nosferatu. Well, can't go without, we've always talked about Dracula and et cetera, et cetera. Well, you can't go without Dracula, a wonderful film with William Marshall, the great actor himself. I could see no other person playing Dracula other than him. He was tall, he was gaunt, he had the vampiric look, he was handsome. He could bite your throat out or pick you up with one hand and toss you through a window. And he tolerated no fools. Anyway, that's what a vampire should be, don't you think? So, my dear fiends, let's get back to tonight's feature, Nosferatu, the first vampire.
I'm sorry, sir.
Hey, put a plank across. The ship must be fully checked. Untie him.
Not a soul on board. Very little freight. And the hold is teeming with rats. But here's the log.
It is truly a mystery. Perchance, gentlemen, the ship's log may hold a clue to it.
Varna, 6 June. 5 hands, 2 mates, the cook and myself. Direction the Dardanelles. Course westward. Today the 3rd man died of fever. Last night the mate who had the watch disappeared without a trace. 20th June. Course northward. Sea high, making 14 knots towards Biscaya. Fear grows daily among the men. Only the first mate and I remain alive. Rats are everywhere. Could it be the plague?
The plague!
Go home quietly, please. Shut the doors and windows. Gentlemen.
Gracious lady, we're delivering this man who seems to belong to this house.
Lucy! Jonathan!
Who is this woman?
Let's bring him in.
It must be a very severe brain fever.
The sun is hurting me.
Dr. Van Helsing, do you think it is possible that we are so insane that one day we will all wake to find ourselves in straitjackets?
You must excuse my rude entrance. I'm Count Dracula.
I know of you from Jonathan's diary. Since he has been with you, he is ruined.
He will not die.
Yes, he will. Death is overwhelming. Eventually, we all is. Stars spin and reel in confusion. Time passes in blindness. Rivers flow without knowing their course. Only death is cruelly sure.
Dying is cruelty against the unsuspecting. But death is not everything. It's more cruel not to be able to die. I wish I could partake of the love which is between you and Jonathan.
Nothing in this world, not even God, can touch that. And it will not change, even if Jonathan never recognizes me again.
I could change everything. Will you come to me and be my ally? That be salvation for your husband. And for me, the absence of love is the most abject pain.
Salvation comes from ourselves alone. And you may rest assured that even the unthinkable will not deter me. Good night. Nosferatu the undead, he who drinketh the blood of his victims and turns them as well into phantoms of the night. He is as a shadow and hath no reflection. At night he penetrates through walls and doors. In shape of a bat he wafts into the chambers of the sleeping. In shape of a black wolf he hunts down those who flee. Abandon all hope, ye whom he doth approach. And yet, though the vampire be an unnatural being, he must obey some natural laws. The sign of the cross bans him. A consecrated host can bar his retreat. And should a woman pure of heart make him forget the cry of the cock, the first light of day will destroy him.
What does the master command?
Go north to Riga. The army of rats and the Black Death are with you.
Oh, thy will be done. Amen. Amen.
The plague! The plague! What are you doing here?
I must go to the town council.
It's dissolved. It exists no more.
Then I have to see the mayor.
He's dead. Go home as quick as you can.
I know the reason for all this evil. I know the reason for all this. Why don't you listen? I know the reason.
But, my child, these are only the products of your imagination.
You have read Jonathan's diary. You see what has happened to him. It's getting worse here every day. The plague, the rats, and this book about the vampire. This book explains it.
We live in a most enlightened era. Superstitions such as you mentioned have been refuted by science.
I am absolutely certain this exists. I believe what I see with my own eyes.
Faith. Faith.
Faith, Dr. Van Helsing. Faith. Faith is the amazing faculty of man which enables us to believe things which we know to be untrue. You must come with me and help me to crush this monster. Coffins have come by boat from the Black Sea. If we can find where he has hidden them, we can destroy him. We can search for them tonight.
My child, you need some rest and relaxation. The affair with your husband has completely worn you out.
No, Dr. Van Helsing. Tonight.
This has got to be studied first, scientifically.
No, tonight. We mustn't lose a moment.
Even a farmer knows, my child, that everything has a proper time and sequence. He doesn't dig up the wheat to make sure it is growing. Only children playing at being farmers do something like that.
I see I'll have to do this alone.
Well, then.
Mother Superior, my medicine. My lady, how did I come to make your acquaintance?
God, forgive me for what I do.
Join us, please.
It's our last supper. We've all caught the plague. We must enjoy each day that's left.
Madame Lucy! Madame Lucy! Madame Lucy, something terrible has happened. Are you all right? You're to come to the Shraders.
Calm down, Lucy. You can come closer. It is certainly not the plague.
My God. What has happened?
We don't know exactly, except that this morning Shada found Mina dead. We took him to hospital. We still have no explanation. The causes will be gone into with scientific thoroughness, leaving aside superstition and prejudice. The plague, we can most certainly rule that out.
I know now what I have to do. A consecrated host bans the vampire. And should a woman pure of heart make him forget the cry of the cock, the first light of day will destroy him.
Now I know all. Oh, God, that I had listened to her before. A stake and a hammer, quickly. I have to dispatch this fiend forever.
Stop. Don't do it. Help! Van Helsing, get him! Yes, him! Seize him! That man has murdered the Count.
Have you done that? With that stake there?
Yes. But there was an urgent reason for doing it.
That's for the court to decide. You're under arrest, Dr. Van Helsing. Arrest this man.
Arrest? You asking me to arrest him?
Yes?
I've never made an arrest.
Then go and get the police.
They're dead and gone.
Then take the man to prison.
There's no one there to guard him anymore.
Then you must arrest him yourself. After all, you're a town employee.
Then how should I do it? I need arms for it.
Go on, get on with it.
I can't, I'm unarmed.
Nevertheless, you'll arrest this man.
Well, where will you take me then? Huh?
I'm wondering myself. To the prison, I think.
What are you doing standing there? Fetch your broom. Can't you see? Everything here is full of dust. Seal the bedroom for the official investigation. And bring me my horse. I have much to do now.
Sanctus, Sanctus Dominus. Sanctus
Well, my dear fiends, you can't keep a good vampire down for long, can you? I mean, he just keeps going and going, spreading the contagion, I guess you could say, or the plague. Indeed, the plague with all those rats. You know, in the old days, a lot of people equated vampirism with the plague because there were so many rats, and vampires were supposed to have been able to control rats and other creatures of the night, cats, rats, bats. They sort of rhymed, didn't they? Well, my dear fiends, we hope that you've enjoyed tonight's feature and that you'll come back for another Monster Movie Night with your host, Bobby Galmonster, myself, and my co-host, Boris T. Buzzard. Until then, and as always, keep screaming.